Hey kids, how's everybody out there in YouTube land this evening? I hope everybody is doing well. We are doing fine here on the good ship Lily 2. So see how things get going here. Hey Palm Limit, how you doing? Good to see you here. Hey PC, what's up? How's things up there up in the North Country? Oh man, let me start right off. I am not in marathon. I repeat, I am not in marathon. Ran into some bad wind today, all on the nose, ended up having to turn around. I am not in marathon today. So it's wet, cold, and windy morning. Oh, well, it wasn't wet here or windy, or cold rather, but it was windy, very windy today. Hey, Miss Short, how you doing? Nope, I am not in marathon. I am in one key over from marathon, actually. I'm very close to marathon. Oh, it's all right, Miss Shar. You didn't have to retract that. I'm very close to marathon, but I am not there yet. Headed out this morning. Hey, Dan Carter. Headed out this morning on my way to marathon. Winds blew up to the point where I was only making about 2 knots of forward progress at full throttle, just hammering away. And the Navionics software was showing me a helicopter flying low over the top. My Navionics was beginning to tell me I wasn't going to get there until after dark, and that was not acceptable to me. I just wasn't making sufficient forward progress, so I had to turn around. And I'm now in a safe anchorage. I do have the anchor down, but I am not in marathon. I will try again tomorrow, weather permitting. But wind really blew up this afternoon, blew up big waves. We spent 5 hours today bashing against the wind and the waves. It was so bad, in fact, that poor Miss Lily got seasick. Miss Lily has never been seasick before, but she got seasick today and threw up on the boat right in the middle of all that. So she's doing fine now. She's drank and eaten and stuff since then, but she got nauseous today while we were out there beating into the wind. 5 hours, guys. 5 hours of beating into the wind. I'm all beat up. I'm all sore and tired and exhausted from all of that. So after 5 hours of beating into it, we finally turned around, and it still took us 3 hours to get back here someplace safe where we could anchor. You just don't anchor any place. So anyhow, we're at a safe anchorage right now. We are staged to be able to make it to a marathon tomorrow, weather permitting. We will do that. So, Lily, go lay down. Is the last chapter of this leg of the journey beginning. Okay, go lay down. I don't want you breathing on me with your bad breath. Is the last chapter of the leg of the journey beginning. Okay. On or in the boat? In the boat. Or no, on the boat. She threw up on the boat, not in the boat. Yeah, Miss Shar, I did decide to go to the outside. That was a mistake. Although, to be honest with you, I don't know that it would have been any better on the inside. Either way, we would have had strong winds on the nose and would have been beating against it. At least on the outside, I had more room to move around. On the inside, I wouldn't have so much. Now, tomorrow, the wind is supposed to be substantially diminished, and I'm going to wait till tomorrow before I decide whether I'm going inside or outside. Yeah, today we went on the outside and just got beat up. So maybe I could have done better staying on the inside. I don't think so, because either way, the way the wind direction was coming, it wouldn't have mattered. Because the wind direction is blowing right in line with the keys. There was just as much wind on the inside as there was on the outside. On the inside, there would have been slightly less wave action, but not considerable wave action difference. So, in fact, as I'm sitting here right now, I don't know if you can see it, but the boat's doing this kind of stuff right now as we've got wind-driven waves and currents blowing through. I'm in a spot where there's a lot of current. I'll tell you that much. There's a lot of current here. I tried to go down the ladder and cool off after I got the anchor down. And, man, it was everything I could do to hold on to the anchor or hold on to the ladder. So I have to be very careful with letting Miss Lily up on deck, because if she were to go over the side here, the current would just whisk her away. So, oh yeah, she's fine now. She's feeling much better now. She actually came down. She drank a little bit. She kind of moped around for a little bit once we got settled. But now this evening she's relaxed and she's eating a big meal, and so she's doing fine. Yeah, Bob, we were on the outside. Were the waves caused by the Gulf Stream? Mike, the waves were caused. We're too close to shore. We're actually inside the reef area. It was just wind-driven waves. That's all. Just the wind driving the waves. But it was, when you only got a 29-foot boat, 5 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot waves are big waves, and they beat you up. 5 hours of bashing into that, not making much progress. I also found out when I got here and got the anchor down, even when I turned around and came back, I still wasn't making very good speed, and I couldn't understand why I wasn't making very good speed. So I thought to myself, well, maybe I picked up, something in the prop, and sure enough, when I got underneath the boat this evening, I was able to, reach from the ladder to the rudder and rudder to the propeller and pull myself over to the propeller shaft, even in that big current. I was able to clear the propeller. I had a whole bunch of vegetation wrapped around it. Apparently, I had driven through some. They get these big, long, wind-driven flotsams out here. Just a big sorghum, sargasso weed flotilla, and they break up, and you got this stuff floating around all over in the water here. Well, apparently, I got a bunch of that wrapped around the prop. And so that no doubt was affecting my speed. I've got it all cleaned off now, so maybe I'll make better time tomorrow. So, what a great accomplishment journeying in my boat. 7 months, that's gone all the way to the Vicinity Keys. Well, thanks, Miss Shard. I appreciate it. Yeah, 7 months and about 2,800 miles. So, no, Bob, not sawgrass, sargasso. This is a weed. It almost looks like a sea grape type conglomerate. It's a bunch of it. I'll see if I can get some tomorrow, and I can show it to you in more detail. It's a floating mat of vegetation, I guess. So the good news is when I did turn around and I came back just before I anchored, I did find a Mylar balloon in the water, and so I was able to go rescue it with the net and pull it out of the water, and I felt much better about doing that today. So 62-39, go Bucks! Ohio State beat Michigan. Awesome, Ms. Shar. Thank you for that news. I had not heard. Wow, go Bucks! That explains a lot. One of my friends on there said some kind of negative stuff about Ohio State fans today. I guess sour grapes because his team lost again. Go Bucks, beat Michigan. Love it. That's an important game, the Ohio State-Michigan game. Yeah, Pilot, putting it into reverse might help, but then again, it also might make things worse. I had no idea what was wrapped around the propeller. I just knew I was traveling slower than what I would normally travel. So in this case, it was just simple weeds, which, I was able to pull off the propeller fairly easily, although they were wrapped fairly well around the prop and around the shaft. So they were gumming it up and slowing me down. But if that had been like a crab pot line, and that could have been really catastrophic to just put it in reverse. So I wouldn't recommend throwing it in reverse to clear the line without getting underneath and actually seeing what's in there before you do that. That just seems like a safer approach to it that way. I'd be worried about just throwing it in reverse. I mean, because, for all I know, I could have picked up a crab pot line or a piece of rope or, who knows, whatever else floating out in the water. So, Yeah, Flaming Dragon. The wind and the waves ended up being a lot more than what was forecasted today. They were forecasting 3 to 3.5 foot waves, and I know there were some out there that were at least in the 5 foot range. I mean, we buried the bow a couple of times. We had water splashing up over the top of the deck and coming over to the coach roof and getting us wet back there in the cockpit. So when that started going on and I saw I was only making 2 knots of forward movement, I said, to hell with this, and turned around. So naturalizing the prop is the safest way to get to go engines down. Neutralizing the props is the safest way to go engines down. Okay. No, Bob, I'm not in the same anchorage that I was in last night. I made 7 miles of total headway today. I actually went 40 miles total today. My total distance was 40 miles today, but the net gain was only 7. It shows you how far I went forward and turned around and came back. Unfortunately, there just wasn't any place along the way on the ocean side where I could have pulled in and anchored and for the night and had, banked that gain. Now, had I gone up on the inside, there would have been places I could have anchored along the way where I could have not had to turn around and come back so far. But on the outside, there was no place to anchor. I had to come all the way back to where I'm at. So, which is only 7 miles from where I was last night. So really a zero-sum gain for the day. And it was very frustrating, guys. I was very angry and mad. I wanted to get this thing over with, as you guys might imagine. 7 days, 2,800 miles. And I mean, I was close enough that I could see. I mean, I was looking at Marathon. I could see Marathon. And I was only like, 12 miles to go, but it was telling me those 12 miles would have gotten me in well after dark at the speed and direction I was going. So I had to turn around and come back. It is what it is. So, yeah, I did make a little distance. Yeah, 7 miles. So if the weather is okay tomorrow, I'm going to try again. If the weather is blowing up like it is today, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to sit here and wait for the wind to quit. Which it's supposed to. It's actually supposed to be lighter tomorrow and even lighter than that on Sunday, or on Monday rather. So if that's what we need to do, that's what we need to do. We'll play it by ear. But anyhow, we got here and we got the anchor down. We got all settled in. Made myself breakfast for dinner. Had some pancakes and sausage for dinner. Actually, I made pancakes and sausage, and I ate half and gave half of it to Lily, which she ate readily. So, she's feeling better. But she had pancakes and sausage for dinner this evening as well. So to further elaborate, Ohio State University scored 62 points on the #1 defense in college football, which happens to be the most points given up by Michigan in regulation ever. Woot. Oh, wow. Go Bucks. Yeah. I missed the beginning of the stream, so congrats on arriving in Marathon. Evil, no, not in Marathon. Ventusky shows wind at your stern. Yeah, well, it's not. I don't know what you're looking on in Ventusky, Frenchie. I just looked at it here 5 minutes ago, and it's showing it on the bow. So I don't know what you're looking at. Sorry to hear your misadventure. Better days are ahead as you're almost there. Yep, Chief, we'll be there. We'll be there. Fine, no problem. So, every reason to gloat, Johnny Hag. So, anyhow, got here, got settled, made myself some sausage and pancakes for dinner, and I put on my Verizon, on my AT&T account. They give me free television. I have this weird app. It's called Watch TV by ATT Uverse. Anyhow, there's just a selection of odd channels on there. Nothing really spectacular, but one of them is the Hallmark channel, and the Hallmark channel is playing Christmas movies all this week. All these, tearjerker type, happy, isn't life grand, Christmas holiday stuff. And I got to tell you something, guys, it really threw me into a bout of depression this afternoon. Bad enough I got beat up in the boat, but watching all these people celebrating Christmas and being with family and decorating the tree, that was pretty rough watching that for me tonight. So I don't know if I'm going to do a real long live stream this evening, but I will say this: I really do miss my family. I miss my wife Johanna and my sons. I even miss my wife Penny and my daughter. I know that may seem strange, especially since she seems to be bent on beating me up so bad right now, which I don't understand. I don't understand. I've always treated her with respect and dignity, and I wish her well. But I do miss her and my daughter. I miss all the great times we had. I think it's a shame that she's allowing all of this vitriol nonsense to ruin what was going to be good memories I was hoping to have for the rest of my life. But it is what it is. So, you buy you a plane ticket to come home because need you. Yeah, Evil. They're not going to do that. They don't have the funds for that. Oh. Well, yeah, Joe, I did, but I can anchor at Marathon and use the dinghy dock. So chick movies will do that to you. Yeah, Pilot, I don't know. I wouldn't call them chick movies, but I really enjoyed watching them. I have to admit that. I really did enjoy watching them. So, Bob, I don't know if she's dog mushing or not. The last I heard, she was going to London. I don't know if she's in Alaska or dog mushing or what. I don't know. One of the caveats with this family is that on my ex-wife Penny's side is that they seem to have a proclivity for just dumping guys and moving on. The mother did that to her husband and second husband, and now I don't know about the third. And so that's just the way the family is, I guess. They have no problem just burning through a guy and then cutting them loose. So I'm not going to go into all that. Suffice it to say, I wish them well and I miss them. And watching them decorate the Christmas tree just kind of made me a little homesick for that kind of stuff. But that's all right. We'll get there. We'll get there. I'm doing what I need to be doing right now to get myself back into shape and get myself back into financial strength. And then I'll be able to go ahead and pick up my pieces of my life and go from there. So, yeah, BS meter, that, like I said, that was the last I heard. I've not heard anything since then. So, Evil, that's not true. No, not necessarily. London, England. Yeah, I understood she was going to London, England. She was with some guy that was going to school at Cambridge. And so she was going to be going to school at Cambridge as well. At least that's what I heard. I don't know what happened with all that. This time of year always does that to your heart. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's hard. I have to admit, it's hard, guys. And so I guess I was just sort of emotional anyway today. I was really hoping to get the marathon. It's going to be a bit of an emotional time for me to get there and finally, accomplish this goal and get this done. And so then I got so angry today at the weather not letting me finish today. I really wanted to finish today. I pushed much harder than I should have today. As soon as I went through the bridge and saw those waves, I should have just turned around and came back. But I was damn determined I was going to get it done today. And all I did was beat myself up for 5 hours. So after 5 hours of beating against the wind, I finally said, okay, enough's enough, and turned around and came back. So I guess I'm a stubborn old goat. Oh my gosh, I'll keep it that way. Yeah, they're wonderful movies, Marie. They really are quite enjoyable, but they can get to you. So give me time to snow blow 6 inches. Well, there you go, Pilot. Get your snowblower going. Bob, yeah, we have quite a few followers from the UK, actually, quite a few. Yep, I like England. I've been to England many times. I used to be able to know Heathrow Airport by heart. I could tell you exactly where I was walking through. I've been there so many times, but that was a long time ago. That was in the mid late 70s. So I've not been to England. Oh, let's see. I don't know. My first wife Johanna and I went to Spain. I don't remember if we stopped through London on that trip or not. That would have been in the early 80s, so long time ago. Sorry guys, looks like we're having a little buffering issue. I apologize for that. Nothing I can do it. I've got good cell service here. It should be fine. So I love the Hallmark movies. Been watching Christmas ones today. Yeah, Donna, that's what I was watching today too. Yeah, got to me. Did you capture any footage burying the nose of the boat? No, I didn't. I did catch some footage of the boat bouncing up and down, but I didn't get any footage of any waves breaking over the bow. As you might imagine, I was a little busy when that was going on. So, yeah, I think I should be back. I wouldn't recognize London now. No, probably wouldn't. No, probably wouldn't. You know. I mean, just to give you an idea how far back, I liked London. One of my favorite places in London was Carnaby Street. Back when Carnaby was a thing. Carnaby Street's not a thing anymore. So, sailed to Liverpool. You wait for me at the dock. Yeah, not on this boat. No, not on this boat. I could not imagine taking this 29-foot boat offshore and trying to cross an ocean. I just could not imagine. Of course, you know, I mean, we all know when you get offshore, the waves get longer and deeper, and, you know, it's a different situation. But, man, I got so badly beat up today, I couldn't imagine doing that for 30 days in a row. That would just be agony. So, still going to try and get a job, like I said this morning, to pay for a car and etc. Joe, I don't know yet. Probably going to have to do that. Probably going to have to do that, but I'm going to continue going with my channel and keep it going as well. So, burning fuel and oil whilst going backwards. Well, not really backwards, Mike, but certainly burnt a lot of oil and fuel for very little gain. So, no tropical storms that I'm aware of heading towards the Keys right now. So, hey, Johanna, you missed me too. That's great, darling. I like that. I like that. We had so many good times, didn't we? And we will again. And we will again, Joe. You know that. So kind of what I've been feeding on. You know, being on this trip, I'm obviously having a lot of time to think. Being by myself for 7 months and, you know, spending all day up there behind the wheel trying to keep the boat in a straight line, which it doesn't like doing. Funny, you took your glasses off and we lost focus. Sorry about that. Anyhow, how long has it been since you were in marathon last? Probably has not changed much. Yeah, last I was in marathon was in 2015.